I was stuck in the darkness, thinking about suicide every day. And that's how I lived my life. When I was young, I got diagnosed with an anxiety disorder. And then in high school, my younger brother passed away in a car accident. And I didn't really know how to cope. So I immediately turned to alcohol. That is when things really started to unravel. For the next 10 years, abusing alcohol. And then, unfortunately, I lost a lot of friends at a young age from car accidents, getting shot, the drug overdoses. It got to the point where I wouldn't even answer my phone if a family member would call me because I was afraid that it was going to be something bad. And it's irrational thinking that comes with the anxiety, and it just controlled everything I did. When I would go through a really bad episode, let's just say an anxiety attack, they lasted weeks. There was one time, I'm 195 pounds right now. I went through an anxiety spell, but by the time I was done, I was 135 pounds. From not eating, I wouldn't be able to walk. So if I had to use the restroom, I would have to crawl on the floor on my hands and knees to get to the bathroom. And it just kind of snowballed. In fact, I got diagnosed with a bipolar disorder when I was in my early 20s. And then they started me on medications for that. I was on 4 different types of prescription medications. I was using melatonin, Benadryl, OxyCalm, Natural Calm. I was taking this stuff during the day. And the problem was, no matter what medication combination I was on, no matter what doctor I saw, it just was getting worse. And, and when you see the light at the end of the tunnel, it turns out to be just another train. It's like, why try anymore? Completely lost hope. Just no hope for life. It's a terrible feeling. The first time I tried to commit suicide, I ended up in a coma.
All right, guys, we'll lose them. Let's go.
The second time,
Let's go.
I ended up flatlining in the hospital from a suicide attempt.
Clear. Nope. Again. Clear. There it is.
I was lucky that the doctors were able to save my life. My mother took a picture of me and posted it, asking for help. And because of that, Brian's wife, Jen, saw it and reached out to me about coming here. When I first arrived here to do the brain map, I'm sitting there thinking, man, I hope this shows something. And that I'm not walking in and it's gonna show, hey, your brain's perfectly fine and I'm just messed up. So I was actually kind of nervous coming in. I sat down with them, and looking at it, my brain was really overactive, like through the roof. So that explained what was going on in my head. And it was emotional, I'll say the least. Because for the first time in my life, I had definitive answer what was wrong. I felt relief. It was after about 4 days or 8 treatments, I really started to notice, something's different. The anxiety started to go away. I wasn't overthinking things. It just things started to level out a little bit. After I think it was 14 treatments, I did another brain mapping that showed the progress it made, and it was unbelievable. On the original map, it was just covered in red and, all this overactivity. And after, the 14 treatments, there was barely any red left. It allowed me to think clearly. It allowed me to wake up every morning actually looking forward to the day. Was associating with family again. Associating with friends again. As I mentioned before, I was on 4 different types of prescription medication, plus all those over-the-counter things. I'm on no medications anymore, and it's awesome. Listen, people talk about getting a new lease on life. This changed everything about my life. You know, I mentioned before about living in that darkness. That light I saw was actual light. It wasn't another train. And it felt good. It felt really good.